On February 24th of this year, I released my first episode of Building and Flipping PCs, my series where I flip PCs starting from only $50. Today I want to show you a bunch of statistics on how much money I've made from PC flipping in 2024 at a start price of only $50. I'll go over the statistics for each month and in the end show statistics for the entire year. So let me show you. So in February I sold my first PC for a pretty nice profit. It was a very old system with an i5 3470 and an HD 7850 GPU. Parts are really old. I got the PC for 350 Danish krones and then, which is around $50, and then cleaned it, rebuilt it and tested it, and I sold it for 650 Danish krones, which leaves me with a profit of 300 Danish krones. I had it up for sale for about a month. Yes, it took a month to sell, but we got a pretty nice profit at almost 100% profit, like double profit, which is extremely great, especially for the first PC, but it was still very little profit at under $50. So in February I made a total of 300 Danish krones in profit. In March I had really bad luck with PC flipping, as I bought a CPU and I got scammed on it because it didn't work, so I had to find a system with a donor CPU, which took a really long time to find. Therefore I didn't sell any PCs in March. In April I sold one PC, but got very little profit because I'm working with very budget parts, so there's very little market for these PCs. Plus this PC also looked really bad. But anyways, it was a very budget system with i5 4570 and GTX 760, which are really bad parts, and it was also really bad value that I bought the parts for. And also had 8GB of RAM and a hard drive, which is really slow, and also made the PC really slow with very low frame rates. I'll have the frame rates up on screen now. I got all the parts for 737 Danish krones. I sold the PC for 900 Danish krones and had it listed for about 2 months, which is a really long time to flip a PC. Me with 163 Danish krones in profit, which is around $25, and that's really bad profit, especially for the time it took to sell. So 163 Danish krones for April. In May, I finished building a white OEM PC with a GTX 1050 Ti, a 256GB SSD, 8GB of RAM, and an i5 4440. Very bad parts and very slow parts, but it didn't look that great because of the really bad spray paint job on it. But I just listed it in May, and then after a whole month of it not selling because of the really bad spray paint job, I decided to spray paint it again, and it looked much better. So I listed it, but sadly it was summertime, so the market was extremely slow. But I did sell it in August, which is a really long time to wait to sell a PC. That was like 2 months after listing the PC for a second time, and I just want to sell it really bad at that point, so therefore I sold it for a very little profit at only 13.43 Danish krones, which is around $2. Yes, I made $2 of profit on this PC after waiting for it to sell for 2 to 3 months. At least I didn't lose any money on this sale though. So August changed a lot for me in PC flipping. In August I sold 3 PCs. The first one is the one that I just showed you, which I sold on August 1st. And then the second PC is where I started changing my PCs. I did a little bit of more of an expensive PC, just a little bit more expensive than the previous PC. And I started adding RGB to the PCs. This one I used a used RGB case that I got for only 100 Danish krones, which is around $15, and then I put a GTX 1060, an i5 4460, 16GB of RAM and a 240GB SSD in it, and this was a really good idea to make RGB PCs because it sold really quickly. And I also put Wi-Fi in my PC, and from there on I would put Wi-Fi in all of my PCs. It's a really great idea to put Wi-Fi in all your PCs because you can get really cheap Wi-Fi adapters on AliExpress, which is what I did. This PC gave me a profit of 889 Danish krones, which is around $120, which is much better than the previous highest 300 Danish krones in profit. This PC sold within only 2 days, which is nothing compared to the month plus of selling the previous PCs. The next PC that I built after this in August was about the same PC, but it was with a new case from the same brand and also with a GTX 970 instead of a 1060, and it sold within 3 days, which is kind of crazy considering that I forgot to cover up the ketchup and mustard cables in this, but anyway it did sell, but for a little less profit of only 581 Danish krones, which is around $80, but it's still a pretty good profit. So in total I made 1,483.43 Danish krones, which is around $210 of profit in August, which is much better than any of the previous months. So I was really happy about August. So it was now September and I had 2,300 Danish krones for the next PC flip, which was a lot compared to the previous PCs. So I want to build a way better looking and better performing PCs. So I tried to get a fish tank PC case, which was the Mars Gaming MC SE. This was the cheapest fish tank PC case I could get at the time. It only cost around 350 Danish krones. I have a full review of it, by the way, if you want to know more about it. It was pretty solid for the price, but it didn't come with any fans, and I wanted RGB in this PC. So I bought 3 Thermalright ARGB fans, which were really good for the about $15–20 I could get them for. Inside the Mars Gaming MC SE, I got a brand new Asus Prime B450 MK2, which is now my go-to M4 motherboard for budget PC flips, because this is usually the cheapest B450 motherboard. And on that motherboard I put a classic combo for PC flips. This was the Ryzen 5 2600 with a 2x8GB kit of DDR4 RAM. This is not the motherboard that I used, but you'll see this motherboard in a later episode of building and flipping PC. I also put a GTX 1660 in this PC, which was way better than the GTX 1060 and 970s I had been using before, and also a 256GB SSD, which when I look back at it is not enough. For a PC of this caliber, it should have been 512GB or more. It was also a used SSD. It should probably have been a new SSD, but that was what I did, and I sold it very fast. In only 2 days I bought all the parts for 2,205.12 Danish krones and sold it for 3,300 Danish krones, which gives me a profit of 994.88 Danish krones, which is so far the best profit that I had gotten from any PC flip. 994.88 Danish krones in total for September, which I was also really happy with. In October, I sold another PC that was almost the same. The only difference was the PC part was a Ryzen 5 2600 and a GTX 1616 Super instead of non-Super, and a 512GB brand new SSD, which is much better than the previous 256GB used one. I bought all the parts for this PC for 2,369.67 Danish krones, and I sold it for 3,300 Danish krones, which leaves me with a profit of 930.33 Danish krones, which is also a really good profit. In November, it took a really long time to find parts for the next build, which was originally thought to be almost a copy-paste of the last build. I got some really good deals on Black Friday for this build, like the Montech R100 for 300 Danish krones, some white cable extensions for 140 Danish krones, and an APNX cooler for 190 Danish krones. These parts made my PC look really good. This was my first time using cable extensions, and I definitely recommend doing it because it makes your PC look much better. I have a full video on that if you're interested. So this PC costed me 2,413.22 Danish krones, and I sold it for 3,600 Danish krones, which leaves me with the highest profit of the year at 1,186.76 Danish krones, which is around $170. I know I should have probably bought more PC parts and built more PCs in November and December because of the holiday season, but I didn't really think about that before it was too late. I was already working on a short film in the start of December where I definitely did not have time to pick up PC parts or build PCs. So for the entire year, I started with 350 Danish kroner or around $50, and I ended up with 5,408.4 Danish kroner, which is around $750. $50 to $750 is pretty good in my opinion, and I'm really happy with how much money I've made this year. If I was starting PC flipping over again, I would definitely start with at least $200 for your first PC build to get a good profit and not have the market be super slow for your PCs. That was what happened to me with the super low budget PCs. No one wanted to buy them, so therefore I would definitely recommend starting with $200. August was my most profitable month with a little under 1,500 Danish kroner in profit and 3 PCs sold. That was a really good month for me. I also wanted to thank you all for watching my videos this year. In 2024 my videos got 116,000 views and I gained 193 subscribers. That's way better than the 9 I gained last year. And thank you for 200 subscribers. It means a lot to me. Next year I want to hit around 400 subscribers or more. So if you like my content, please do consider subscribing so we can hit that goal. And if you like this video, do consider giving it a like. This is the last video of the year, so I just want to say Happy New Year's to you all. Thanks for watching.